To China's new economy first, where innovation-driven sectors are expanding at a breakneck pace. They're poised to be future drivers of growth as the country transitions to higher quality development. But lately, there have been reports from other media organizations which call into question the sustainability of China's new economy sectors. I took a closer look. Well, recent media reports claiming China's new economy is losing its luster is short-sighted. The reports call into question the financial health of China's new economy companies. Now, these are companies using more advanced technologies to drive consumption and innovation. The reports sound quite alarmist, saying China's new economy sector may be over. Now, the voice of doom is rather contrary to the over 20% year-on-year growth in operating income seen between January and November of 2019 for internet-related companies in China. That income growth is nearly 20 percentage points higher than traditional industrial firms for the same time period. Now, when looking at China's new economy sectors, it's crucial to look at long-term trends instead of just short-term snapshots. The foundations supporting the long-term growth and development of China's new economy sectors are undeniably robust. On the supply side, that foundation's first layer is China's strong commitment to science. The country is the second largest spender on research and development in the world, accounting for over a quarter of global R&D in 2018, and that share continues to rise. It published the most science and engineering articles globally in 2018 as well, and has the largest number of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics graduates in the world. Now, this has allowed China to lead in e-commerce, in mobile payments, robotics, the Internet of Things, electric vehicles, just to name a few, and of course all supported by commanding positions in AI, 5G, and quantum science. On the demand side, China's per capita disposable incomes have risen over 50% from 2013 to 2018, with disposable incomes continuing to rise. Morgan Stanley predicts in 5 to 10 years' time, China will attain high income status. These all provide the consumption power needed to support the growth of new economy sectors. Another crucial driver that will allow China's new economy to soar is urbanization. But not just any urbanization, it's all about smart urbanization. China already leads in connected devices, with International Mobile Trade Association GSMA estimating that China will have more 5G connections in 2025 than Europe, the United States, Japan, and South Korea combined. It also doesn't hurt to have the world's longest high-speed rail system connecting the country's smart cities together. Smart cities, of course, boosting the development of new economy sectors. And on top of all of that, Chinese consumers are rapid adopters of technology. They absolutely embrace it. So, is China's new economy sector supposedly over? Nope. With such strong foundations, China's new economy is just beginning to shine. Well, despite both internal and external economic headwinds, China's economy remained steady in 2019. Timothy Pope sat down with the chief economist of ANZ Greater China for a look ahead at what's in store for the Chinese economy for this year.
China's economic growth slumped to its lowest level in nearly 30 years. Is China's growth losing steam?
Well, from the number, of course, its growth rate's been dropping. I think it's pretty obvious. But the question is, this is a number that dropped from a very high level after 30 years. So even 6% growth now is still very high, by the world standard. So I don't think we should express too much worry about the number.
So if we shouldn't be looking at the number, what should we be looking at?
I think we should look at the structure and also the growth driver behind the number. For example, we might have a very good or 10 or 15% of GDP growth, but if it's come, the cost of having this double-digit growth with air pollution, do we want it? I think this is the question that we have been asking.
And do you see economic growth, we've just talked about the fact that we shouldn't be looking at the number, but do you see it dropping below 6% in 2020?
Correct. So if we're talking about a nominal GDP growth of about 7% or 8%, then we still talk about a tremendous amount of expansion. So the actual percentage, of course, seems to be lowering, but if we talk about just 0.1 or 0.2 percentage growth slow down, I don't think that has a big impact, for our judgment or the assessment about the size of the economy. Actually, my forecast for 2020 is 5.8%.
President Xi Jinping said in a speech in Beijing that he expects that for 2019, the per capita GDP will have passed the $10,000 US threshold. Is that the time where we should be looking at a recalibration in the economy? Have we reached that point now? Is that sort of given us some sort of buffer?
No, I think that, again, this is just a number, in terms of per capita GDP, because China, is the most populous country in the world. With this, big size of population, and even if we divided the total size of the GDP as the second biggest economy in the world, and the per capita number seems to be low. But this is only one angle to look at the economy. I would rather look at the structure of the economy, what's drive growth, and what makes this, $10,000 per capita. How are we going to take it further? And
how does China go about doing that, making sure that that balance is there?
China has not run recession, so far, if we just look at the GDP. But the reality is, if we look at the price, we did have a period of 4.5 years of PPI, negative PPI, which is Producer Price Index, that can tell that some of the segments, like industrial sector, had gone through a period of recession or excess capacity. So from this perspective, I think the government policy would probably need to address the problem of continue to stick to this counter-cyclical policy. At the same time, trying to extend the growth driver and to reinvent the economy so that in the future, over the next 5 years and 10 years down the road, then China will continue to sustain growth through technological improvement, through improving the efficiency, and through reform, and also in terms of what I mentioned about this income inequalities, whether there is a more fair share of the economic prosperity across the whole population.